30, a convicted gang leader was just sentenced for his role in a string of violent robberies at Houston area cell phone stores.
Yeah, Eyewitness News reporter Elisa Rivas joins us now live with just how long Terrence Edwards will now be spending behind bars. Elisa?
Melanie, the Harris County DA's office calls Terrence Edwards a cell phone robbery kingpin, and a jury has decided he'll spend decades behind bars for it. Violent and repetitive, a rash of cell phone store robberies in 2015 brought this man, Terrence Edwards, to court today, where a jury would decide his punishment for directing and organizing those robberies. He was sentenced to 55 years in prison.
He's friends with my kids. He was best friends with my little brother as well. And that's not the Terrence that I know.
But prosecutors successfully argued that everyone involved, from store clerks to the very people he influenced to commit crimes on his behalf, were all Edwards' victims. Victoria Alexander says her own sons got into trouble for their involvement, but still she doesn't blame Edwards.
Everything was on every separate individuals, and they just ran all of this together and put this one man over all of this, and I'm 100% certain that that wasn't the way it happened.
The district attorney's office says the charge on which Edwards was convicted, specifically for organizing repeated crimes, created the possibility of that stiffer sentence, one the jury delivered in less than 2 hours.
Hopefully the fact that, the Harris County justice system is prepared to follow through will try and keep things safe out there.
And the way Texas law works, the DA says that he will spend at least half of that time behind bars before he's eligible for parole. Tonight at 6,
So as y'all just heard, that this man in Texas will receive 55 years in prison. And like the woman said, she doesn't understand why he's the only one who's receiving time when there were so many other people who were involved in this operation. So I'm going to read the article to give you more of an idea of what's going on. Jurors came to a verdict regarding the conviction of a criminal mastermind involved in a string of cell phone robberies in Houston Friday morning, according to the Harris County District Attorney's Office. A prison sentence of 55 years was handed down for 26-year-old Terrence T. Streets Edwards, convicted for organizing a string of cell phone store robberies in 2015. His close family friend Victoria Alexander reacted with continued support for him. He's friends with my kids. He's friends with my little brother as well, and that's not the Terrence I know. The district attorney's office says the charge on which Edward was convicted, specifically for organizing repeated crimes, created the possibility of a stiffer penalty. Hopefully the fact that the Harris County justice system is prepared to follow through will help keep things safe out there. Edwards will serve at least half of the 55-year sentence before he's eligible for parole. So half of 55 would be what? 27 years? 27 and a half years? T Streets will be off the streets for decades. These gang members placed innocent citizens in fear for their lives. Hundreds of phones, especially iPhones and Samsung Galaxy devices, were taken during a half-dozen robberies carried out in 2015, but the crime group was believed to have had a hand in scores of previous heists. Cell store owner Scott Ehrenstein says the punishment fits the crime. I think it's the mental anguish of bringing a gun into the store, pointing it at their head, telling them they'll kill them if they don't give them the phones. That's the biggest amount of damage. The robbers stuck guns in the faces of customers and employees and herded them back into rooms, according to the DA. In one job, under Edwards' direction, his robbery team shot at a witness and at a Houston police officer while trying to escape. Edwards, 26, is a documented member of the Fifth Ward Circle Street Gang, but those who robbed for him were members of various criminal organizations who had got together to make quick cash. He provided participants with stolen cars and high-powered firearms. The stolen high-end phones would later be resold to fencing operations that would send them on to Dubai and other countries. We resorted to this statute with unusually harsh penalties because this robbery kingpin posed such a continuing threat to public safety. Now, in all of this, no one was hurt. Yes, they shot at a witness and they shot at a police officer, but in all of these operations, no one ever got hurt. So my thing is, how the hell does he get 55 years and he be the only person? I do think that this is an excessive punishment. And given, like they said, the unusually harsh penalties, yes, that's unusually harsh because you're sitting here, you have people who are killing people for no reason. You have police officers shooting people for no reason. You have people going in malls and different places just killing and stabbing people for no reason. And half of them get off. But this man, because he led a, organization, or he's the kingpin of cell phone robberies, he gets 55 years. And this article mentions no one else who was involved in this. Yeah, it says people who did stuff for him were in various gangs, but why is he the only person getting in trouble for it? You're sitting here talking about, oh, it's keeping him off the streets is for public safety. All the other people who were involved in this, y'all gonna leave them on the streets who were also in gangs? So just one person locking him up is going to keep the streets safe when you have all these gang members. I live in Houston. And there are gangs everywhere. There are all types of gangs, especially in the hood. Now, specifically where I live, no, there are not gangs. But I've heard about these gangs. I've seen some of these gang members. You can't honestly say that this man was such a threat to the safety of other people just because he held a gun up to them or the people in his crew. They didn't kill anybody. They didn't hurt anybody. Yes, they stole cell phones, but I think that's excessive. That's just like, someone who is charged with possession of, say, marijuana. They get life in prison. What threat are they to the community? What threat are they to another person? And this goes along with the narrative that, the just white people system think that, the more black men they lock up, the more safer the streets will be, the more better America will be. No. To be honest with you, locking up a bunch of black men, it's not going to make America better because you still have white men out there. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below, and I'll talk to y'all in the next video.